Welcome back. This is Urdizzle with a little 3-star action on the new course Pioneer Bay. And I thought I'd do a quick bag update for those that haven't seen it in a while. So I've got the Accurate Windbreak River, which used to be in my bag a long time ago. We'll talk about why it's back in a second here. The Accurate Roll Explorer, which is probably the most recent addition minus the recoil that's coming up. And then a pair of muskets, the Accurate Wind musket and the Accurate Glide musket. Both have been in my bag for over a year. Same with the Glide Wind recoil. The two new additions are my drivers. I've got a Glide Roll Rive to replace my Glide Roll Ballista Pro. And then the ever-trusty Light Glide Ballista Pro. I don't have the Light Glide Rive, although I don't know if I would actually bag it. And the Skip Glide Rive, the big boy. So the disc here I'm showing you is not in my bag. The Wind Skip recoil is usually in there in place of the river. And then my putters, I got the Accurate Sticky Keystone, which I use for my forehand throw-ins. The Accurate Glide Pure, which I have a couple ace runs and approaches I do with that one. And then the Accurate Wind Fuse is my main putter and main forehand throw-in disc. And then the Accurate Glide Fuse to round things out. And my bag's been pretty static for quite some time. I usually don't bag the river. The Wind Skip recoil is usually in there, but I just didn't feel the need to use it on this course, so I thought I'd throw the river in there. And this is my first 3-star run at Pioneer Bay. Prior to this video, I had thrown this course a bit over probably the last week. I'll play a little bit here and there, and I got really close. I got quite a few 8-unders before getting this 9-under. And this was, for being my first 9-under round, it was quite an entertaining round. So off the tee here, I throw my recoil. I don't really feel the need to push too much distance towards that water because I feel like I can get pretty close. And then a lot of times what I do is I will throw this Glide Skip Rive to get up there, and that was almost in for the eagle. But I kind of like doing that skip up there because you never know what can happen. I have skipped it in for eagle a couple times, but overall I'm just trying to get it up there for an easy birdie. Not too difficult. A hole one, as long as you don't get too aggressive off the tee. Hole 2 is another one where you don't want to get too aggressive, but you also want to push up because the longer your approach shot, this is kind of a tricky upshot. And here, so I threw the Glide Skip Rive off the tee, and I got close enough that I was able to throw my Accurate Glide musket up there. And I like to throw it out wide to the right and kind of let it fade left as opposed to punching in straight. Because if you punch in straight, it's easy to skip up over the top of that hill and go on the backside. I've had it roll down to 70, 80, 90 feet almost in the water OB. So you just kind of got to be careful on your approach shot. Again, I prefer a hyzer approach as opposed to straight. And then hole 3, I like to play safe out here. I haven't really found the benefit of pushing too far or trying to go to the middle island. One, because I don't know if the discs will really get there unless it's a really favorable wind. But it's not worth it. And then I found out my second shot here on hole 3 is, see that little outlet right there to the right? There's a little more room to the right, so I tend to play my shots further out right to give me a little more space to deal with. Although I don't really like a shot from 400 in here because you really got to nail this. I'm going to call it a tunnel. You really got to get into this little tunnel on either side. Otherwise, you're pretty much not going to get birdie no matter what happens. But getting it nice in there usually gives you a decent putt. And first 3 holes I really like, and then things start to transition a little here as you get to hole 4. You've got the jungle starting to kick in. And I've experimented a little with this. I don't like the wide right route because you're playing kind of left into the lower area and potentially go OB. And I like the distance of the Glide Skip Rive. You could probably throw a lot of discs just kind of with the low right-hand forehand up the middle there, and it works pretty well. Hole 5, I bet a lot of people are overthrowing this one, and I just throw my pure, a forehand pure, although I don't like it. I hit these little decorations right there. I hit all the freaking time, but I'll take that any day because I never go out of bounds long. The worst I have is sometimes I hit those early decorations on the ground, and I have like a 60, 70-foot throw-in, but it's pretty reasonable. I enjoy the pure there. Hole 6, I know we're going kind of quickly because this is not really a walkthrough, is I'm just throwing for distance here. So that's my Glide Skip Rive, just trying to get it up here. And this is a pretty standard par 4, as long as you don't do anything too silly on your second shot here. So I'm going to throw my upshot with the mid-range, the Accurate Fuse, the Accurate Windbreak Fuse, and just lay it up there. I could probably run that if I wanted to, but I don't really see the need for that at this point in time. Hole 7, I know David, Sally had posted a video and kind of a walkthrough of this hole, and I was kind of already doing, he had suggested throwing a forehand, which is kind of what I was already doing. I think, like he said, the backhand was a little bit of a sucker play. And I still, that one worked. That was my glide roll, Rive, almost said Ballista Pro. I found that it can get away from you a little bit. Not long, but up the hill. I've had that one go long up the hill there, out of bounds. So I'm still toying around with a good safe play on that hole where I don't bring the right side OB into play. And then hole 8, this is one I've discussed. I like the hole, but God, it has some annoying stuff in it. You know, lots of roots. I mean, it's really position golf. So I played for distance the glide skip or skip glide rive and gave me a decent shot. And then my second shot was just not good. I tried to turn it over and get it to kind of flex over the top of that hill, and that was not good. So now I'm way out. But even though it's 600, I feel with the distance and the downhill, I can get it there. And I just threw probably my best shot of the round. I mean, that right there, just inside there, not only did it give me a throw-in opportunity, it gave me a putt. So from 620 feet out of position behind a rock, I was able to get it within 33 feet. That was a phenomenal save. I was extremely happy with that. And then hole 9 with a wind of 3, this is just kind of it's not version of poke and hope because that's more wooded, but this is just I'm throwing and praying and hoping it doesn't go too far right, too far left. I don't mind slamming into the left wall, but this one did the opposite and is just way, way short. So right here from 97 feet, I would normally throw my fuse, but I was really paranoid about clipping those stones in front of me, so I switched to my keystone, which I know will pop up in the air a little more. And I want to say that I know that looked like a pretty good putt, but I was not confident in that shot at all, just because I was playing it safe. I didn't want to use my fuse and clip that rock there and end up with a par. And I think 2 or 3 rounds before this, before I got the 9 under, I actually had an 8 under going into 9, and I had a 64-foot shot, and I threw it off the bottom of the basket. So I was a little on tilt after that, but this round turned out pretty well. So there's your 3-star 9 under, and the disc selection, very, very underwhelming. I know it's Pioneer Bay, so of course they're going to give you a Pioneer that's glow, but that sucks. I'll never use that one. Probably never use the Faith. May try out the Grace a little bit. It's a cool stamp. You know, you got the leaf for the jungle theme, but I mean, that disc, I've got one of those Graces that's accurate glide, so I don't know if I'd ever throw the Wind Glide. So yeah, there you go. There's your 9 under 3-star round for Pioneer Bay. And overall, I like the aesthetics. The course looks good. Nice touches, good theme. Some cool little Easter eggs. I know everybody likes those. Just some cool stuff, but not really feeling the course so far. Not a big fan of some of the undergrowth. I just feel some of it's a bit excessive, especially on the back 9. Not a big fan of the design on like some of the stuff on hole 5, although it's okay. Hole 7 and 9 just really aren't doing it for me. A lot of poke and hope and trying to avoid the rocks and not get unlucky rolls or skips. So overall, decent course. I wouldn't say it's as bad as Owlwood, which is probably my least favorite course, but I'm putting this one in the middle or bottom third of my favorite courses in the game. But can't complain about new additions to a free game, so it's decent, but not something I will regularly play if I've got a choice. But that'll be it. I will, like I said, I'll get the walkthrough coming up in the next week or two and hopefully give you guys some guidance on how to get the 3 stars yourself. So I'll see you guys next video.